Hey guys, we got another upcoming WhatNot auction. This time it is May 9th at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We've got 5 incredible watches that we're gonna go through, and I'm gonna share every single detail with you. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you download the WhatNot app. I'll provide a link in the bio or below so that you can do that. And make sure to follow us at Craft and Tailored so that you can stay up to date on the latest auctions and offerings from Craft and Tailored via WhatNot. All right, let's get into the details. First up, we've got this 1960s Longines. The reference is 5022/2. This is a really cool watch. The reason why I like this watch is it's a non-normal shape for a watch. It's a literal square. But the thing I love most about this is it's actually made out of sterling silver, which is an interesting metal for a watch to be produced in. Watch measures 30 by 30 millimeters, so it's literally a perfect square. There's some really cool hallmarks on the back of the case that show that the watch is actually sterling silver, which I think is another unique feature. On wrist, the watch wears really, really nicely. I would say that this watch will sell probably in between like the $1,500 to $1,700 mark. All right, next up we've got a fan favorite of the guys here and myself included at Craft and Tailored. It is a vintage Zodiac Seawolf. The reference is 722-946B. I love this watch because it's kind of an iconic diver out of the 1970s. You can't really go wrong with vintage Zodiac, and I really love the history of the brand. This specific example from the 1970s has what we would call like a lilac or maybe like lavender-ish bezel, which I think is kind of unique. Zodiac is known for introducing kind of a pop colorway into their bezels, which I think is a signature trademark of the Seawolf brand. So I really love the case size of this watch. It's a 36 millimeter diver, but it wears similar to like, I would say like a 38 millimeter. I think that the case size offers versatility in how you can wear this watch. Of course, I love the colored bezel, and I love that the dial is gilt, it's glossy. You have triangular shaped lume filled markers at 6, 9, and 12, which I also think makes this thing great. These watches typically in this condition sell for anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500. So definitely be sure to check this one out. All right, next up, we've got a late 1960s, early 1970s Weiler Dynawind. It's actually what they would refer to as their lifeguard. It's pretty cool because it's a monocoque case, which means that it's front loading. So you would remove the crown and then basically the entire movement comes out from the top side of the case, which makes this really interesting. So I love that from a design perspective. I think it's very interesting. 32 millimeter case size, very wearable. It's a two-tone watch, but done in an interesting way from the perspective of you have a steel case with a yellow gold bezel and a yellow gold crown. Another feature that I really like about this watch is the dial and the hand layout. You have these broad cigarette style hands, almost kind of wide boy-esque in its feature set, but really cool and interesting watch. Date complication at 3 o'clock, nice wearable example. A lot of value in watches like this. I would say that this is gonna auction for anywhere between $500 to $600. All right, next up we've got this really interesting square-cased Croton. Croton is a brand that I'm a big fan of. Obviously, if you know a little bit about sport chronographs from the 1960s and the 1970s, you have Nevada Grenchen and then of course Croton. But this is kind of a departure away from the sport watches that we commonly see from the brand. So really interesting square case. It's a salmon dial with an outer white kind of minute track, which I think gives it that almost like tuxedo-y kind of vibe to it. And then the other thing that I really like about this is you have these blued syringe styled hands with a very Croton Nevada Grenchen kind of vibed sweep seconds hand, which is in red. So a lot of interesting kind of unique features of this watch. And I think it's cool because it's a departure away from what the brand is more commonly known for producing in the 1960s and in the 1970s. I would say that this watch will probably sell anywhere between $450 to $500. And it's kind of oversized. It's definitely, big on wrist.
The siren.
Here we've got the most ASMR-based Longines ever created. A Longines Automatic Admiral, not 4 stars, but 5 stars at the bottom there. Cool watch, 10K yellow gold filled watch. It measures 35.5 millimeters across, so kind of like a 36 millimeter dress watch. Beautiful watch overall. I really like gold-filled stuff. The Longines in this era was doing a really good job of plating and doing gold-filled. So really cool watch overall. Simple, elegant dress watch, obviously nice on a black strap, and also would make something that would be a nice daily driver for somebody that wants something that maybe is a little bit more elegant and a little bit more formal. So really cool watch. I would say that this is probably gonna sell anywhere between $500 to $600. All right, guys, so I know all of you are just like chomping at the bit to know which watch out of these 5 is my favorite. I'm gonna say the Longines. I think that this watch is probably the star of the show. Let me know if you agree or disagree, but I think that this watch being a non-traditional shape is what is kind of doing it for me. And also I like the fact that it's in sterling silver. I think watches in silver, it's kind of one of those things like if you know, you know. I really love the hallmarks here on the case back, and I think the design is very like mod, kind of late 60s, early 70s. I think it's a handsome watch, but also I think that it's interesting. I've been wearing a lot of Cartier lately. I've been wearing watches that are less traditional in shape, so I think this watch definitely checks the box for me. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, again, download the WhatNot app and follow Craft and Tailored so that you can participate in the auction. I'll provide a link in the description below so that you guys can do that. The auction is on May 9th. It starts at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern time. I will see you guys there.